someone, and this is the last speaker for the day. I want to first of all thank all of you who have left everywhere to be here today. I tell you, if you are here today, if you came here today, your 2023 will not remain the same. And I pray that God will give you the strength to put into practice, even if it's not everything. Pick one thing from each of the speakers and run with it. I tell you, you'll see a difference, no matter how little. So our last speaker for today is, we're speaking on the mindset for the future. This person is my brother, one of those that always look out for me to ensure that I'm keeping to my plans. My number one accountability partner. I hope it remains that in the next year. So without wasting much of our time, I want to bring on board Coach Bimbo Shoremi. He's the CEO of Vocamen Concept Limited. Coach Bibi, please pardon me. You know, you're in-house, so I'm going to pamper you a bit. But before then, Coach Bibi is the CEO of VCL Group, who left the National Youth Service with barely 10,000 naira in his account. One of those that will just eat up their money, even from the federal government. He got a job in a design and construction company and trained for just 4 years. And that was the last time he applied for a job. For almost 2 decades, he has been a solution provider in the design, procurement, and construction industry with HSC training experience. He's also an author and speaker with a passion for personal development and business success training. He has an affinity for learning and won't mind taking you along on that journey. He's also a philanthropist with a love for meeting the needs of the less privileged and also sharing knowledge to aid financial literacy and freedom amongst other interests. He's quiet, focused, and reserved. You should know where that is coming from. But willing to go all out with you till you are comfortable to walk on your own. Please spare my brother, and he will show you the step-by-step how to reach your goals with no holds barred. So do you want to find that path to better you? Do you want to work with others on that path? Join him as you get better together, as you increase your capacity to dream, set goals and achieve them, as you find and pursue that cause each of us have with more reality. Let's welcome Coach Bibi. Coach Bibi, thank you. You have 10 minutes.
I think I probably got the worst welcome. How can you people, Coach, I can talk to your people. You know, I'm a guest speaker here. I don't like. Okay. No, once you stand, okay. My Oga that gave you time is here. The gentle giant that I take after him. The gentle giant. How can I have 10 minutes when I give you 15 minutes? What kind of world is this? I say you have my back. You have my back, so I will get 17 minutes. All right. All right. This is all part of it. I heard something and it tripped me. So I'd like to say thank you to my wife as well for sparing me to be here. Traveling all through the week with Coach Anekan. I'd like to say thank you to my wife. She's very patient. Whatever she is, please somebody show her this, that. Yes, I said that. Oh, all right. So welcome to everybody for being here. We're so grateful to have you, truly. My name is Coach Bibi, as you have heard, and I'm so interested in this topic because it's futuristic. So I'm here to do something for you that would help you and make you remember me and call me later and say, hey, you did something great in my life. 2022, 2023 is better. So I'm going to reward you in a special way by following your programs. You know, so I'm inviting you to Nuggets Weekly. I host Nuggets Weekly every Sunday. But now it's 8 p.m. Daylight saving. When it changes, we're back to 7 p.m. So on Sunday, when you're home relaxing, we invite you to join us. It's on Zoom, so you don't have to drive around town. All right. Before I leave you, I'm going to do 2 things. All right. And that's for you if you want me to do it with you. One of them is that I'm going to share a quick tip with you. And what would that tip be about? I will share either how you make $10,000 in 60 days. I'll share that with you. Who's interested in that? All right, some big women are here. They're not interested. $10,000 is too small. I know somebody that counts dollars every day just calls it like, that they took 1.6. I'm like, 1.6 what? $1.6 million. I said that without using your cutlass to cut the ground. But if that's too small for you, I can also help you, show you how to make $100,000 in a year before I leave here. All right? Are we set? Okay. Your mindset. To you, you might feel, maybe this is not the major thing. This is not a big deal. What does mindset mean? Let's take the word and split into two, mind and set. Where your mind is set, right? Where your mind is placed, where your mind is rooted, where your mind has been standing for a while. Now, so my question would be, where has your mind been standing for a while? Since you were born, where has your mind been standing? Some people say my mind has been positive, I'm always positive. Some people say my mind is always scared, my mind is afraid, I'm anxious. Like my big brother here said when you don't have much money in your account, you are now afraid even for doing nothing bad. Guess what happens when you don't have much money in your account? If you have an alert of 1,600, you think it's 1.6 somebody took from your account. When you say debit, it's not it's the bank that took 116 naira. But you count the zeros, you forget the dot. So you're like, what kind of, is it, have I been active? Oh, sorry, it's charges for SMS. Then when you don't have money and you have a credit alert, they're like, oh, I just got money. I say, okay, no, it's 116 naira they paid for for savings, for some savings interest, you know. But when you are comfortable, your mindset changes, right? What you think about yourself changes. How you feel about yourself changes. Guess what? What if I tell you that whatever you're expressing today is not really a matter, most times, not a matter of spiritual attack, it's not a matter of physical inability, most times. It's actually a matter of your mindset. And I hope to show that to you today. All right? My sister Chineye was coming, said she was on the road for 2 hours because we told you that this place was on Admiralty Way, right? And you know now that it should have been off Lagos Ekpe, right? Do you get it? Mindset. And she was on Google Maps too, right? And Google Maps was saying turn left. Turn left. So you are now at your location, but turn right again. So why wouldn't you argue with Google Maps? Why don't you argue with it? Over time, you've trusted it, right? Before I used to argue Google Maps and then I get into trouble. So now I get to trust it. So your mindset is where your mind has been for a while. And I put it to you that you are as a result of your mind, where it has been set. And that's why you are where you are today. I put it to you. It's not an insult. It's basically a truth. It's truth. You are where you are today because of where your mind has been set. So what am I saying? There's a yin-yang effect of your mind. When you move your mind, you move everything about you. Are you feeling this? When you were young and you hated a particular subject, can you remember a subject you hated when you were in school? Who remember a subject you hated? Maths. Who else? Maths. Why everybody hated maths? Physics. Did you figure out that you hated because you hated the teacher? Do you figure it out? I also hated the teacher. They were linked, right? So when I got to our institution, I first went to a polytechnic. And we were doing something like statistics or so. And I was wondering how will this thing apply to architecture? At the point I told myself, I'm going to fail this course. Then something occurred to me. Nobody taught me this. And that's one of the gifts I have. God just seems to teach me things out of his mercy. Maybe he thinks that this boy will just waste away, will just teach him. Naughty boy, let me just teach him. And I figured that I should like the lecturer first. I didn't know why. So I started talking to myself that I like this man. I like this man. When it comes to class, I was smiling. I like this man. And after a while, guess what? I like the course. And I passed the course. I had one very, very notorious man. He could not even speak good English. I was teaching surveying. God forgive me, maybe he's here. But he could not even teach surveying well. He had an handout that was totally abused, no paging, and we couldn't figure out what to put there. We were buying, but we could not read it. So I said, I would like this man too. So I would sit in front of the class, and when he's saying his jargons, I would be looking at him and smiling at him. So after a while, he thought I was the only one attending the class. I was talking to me. Do you understand? I would say, yes. He said, do you understand? I said, no. Say, you are a dunce. If you don't understand, miss master class and he will explain to you. When they come and meet me, say, I said, I don't understand though. I just let you do. And after a while, I sat down one day, went through his notes, and I rewrote his notes myself. I rearranged his handout, and mine was the best in class. And I got the A in that course. Became a very good friend. There's no sitting on the fence when it comes to mindset. So don't say I'm on the fence. I'm in between. It's a yin yang. It's either you are here or you are there. Most of us seem to be, and I beg to be corrected. Most of us seem to be on the negative side of our mindset area. You know why? Because of where we were brought up. Everything that happens around you. Nigeria no well. Nigeria don't, government are bad. Anything, it's government. When we cannot blame government again, say it's which. We look for something to blame because of how we grew up, right? And that makes us not to act. This is the reason. When you speak, how do you know you speak? When you say something, how do you know you said something? Have you ever thought about it? You hear yourself. Should I put it to you that there's no person that is dumb? Huh? Somebody that will say, this person is deaf. That will not be dumb. Have you seen that? That somebody will be deaf, but he'll be able to speak well. Have you ever seen one? Do you think people are always deaf and dumb? You know, say deaf and dumb. Do you know they are two different things? People are actually not deaf and dumb. People are actually dumb, but they are deaf. But the problem with being dumb or being deaf is that you have to be dumb. Because once you can't hear what you're saying, you can't pronounce the words. This is how you pronounce words. You say something out, you hear an echo, and then your bones conduct the sound to your ears, and your brain says, yes, we just spoke the words. When you can't hear your words, you're gone. So people have accidents or disease, and then they can't speak anymore. So they have to learn again how to speak. It's a yin-yang. If you cannot change your mindset, you cannot, I put it to you, you cannot probably change whatever situation you find yourself. My sister shared something else. I wrote it down. You said you met a doctor who said, if I was shouting like this every time, I'll lose myself. But we as parents, I shout a lot. 2 minutes, what did you do? Can you saw what did you do? Who did this? I've learned today. I said, what did you do? He said, I did not kill my father. You won't kill me. It's a mindset shift, and I mean it. If you pick up your mind to do it, you will do it. If you don't, the next minute you are shouting again. So you can't stay on the fence, that they are negative or positive. Now, there's a scissors you have, and that scissors is in your mind. How many of us use scissors like this? Somebody gives you a word and says, I can't do it. They say, you can't be it, you can't make it. Sir, you are from Nigeria, you can't be so powerful, so rich, so influential, so knowledgeable. You can't, you're from Africa. How many of us remember to cut off the T? How many of us take it like that? Put it as a badge and put it as a general star. Say what? They say I can't. I'm African, I'm black. I can't do this. I wasn't educated enough. Like he said, some of his mates who were not a quarter as good as you are, sir, now you respect them. Why? They had a change. Check out what changed about them too. Their words changed, their career changed too. Their minds changed. I had a friend that gave me a nickname in school. I give people nicknames. So I gave him a nickname. His brother also gave me a nickname, elder brother. His elder brother was always white all over his body, so we call him Oye Amatan. And the young man I gave me, one day I met him in Nabekuta, and I was like, hey, how you doing? I don't disrespect anybody. I said, so we hugged and he was changing. I said, you're changing. Come on, what's happening? He said, then I saw him on TV. He was speaking good English. Someone that would never speak a word of English in school. He was a broadcaster. Right now he's abroad and doing very well. He was one of those big televisions in London and doing very well. I'm like, wow, this is it. This is when a mind changes and the whole life changes. You have to use that scissors. How do you get yourself to this place where your mindset will change and you can achieve more? And that's what I'm saying. Achieving your goals, setting your goals, achieving them, being able to face obstacles, being able to surmount others, being able to get into a job where there seems to be a dead end and there's a wall built. You can see the wall, you can touch it, you can feel it, and being able to overcome it. People that you've seen do that, what they basically did was change their mindset. Dangote, name him, a doctor, name it. So I'm sure there are certain things that will have been said about you because of where you came from and all that. People assume your father is a judge. My dad is a judge too, by the way. But you know how they are. They still don't push you to do whatever you want. There's certain things that have been expected of you that you've broken. You've broken those rules because you change your mind. Say, I don't want this one. I want this one. Now, nobody gives anything to you directly. Have you figured out? If you always think somebody has to give you something, you are deceiving yourself. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. And I tell people, I don't owe you either. I'm sorry to say, you're my friend. I don't owe you one. It's my choice to give it to you because I also have to get it somewhere. I have to go get it. I have to go grab it. Something occurred to me recently that if my mind could shift from where I am to Steve Jobs' mindset, I will build an Apple. Do you understand? Now, you might doubt me, but Steve Jobs' mind shifted very early. Guess whose mind has shifted again? The guy doing Shoremi. His mind has shifted. He's playing riddles around phone making and selling. He sells phones as cheap as anything, and you wonder where he makes profit from. It's a mind shift. It's a mind shift. Bill and Melinda Gates are giving out their money. Come on, who does that in Nigeria? You make money, you're a billionaire, you're giving it out. Why would I give? Why should I? You bury it. You buy a land and bury it there. But it's a mind shift. Why is that when you go abroad, you meet the white ladies and they're telling you, oh, I'm 32 months gone, I'm delivering in 4 days. Who says that? Your mother would you say, oh, you want to kill me? You are telling all the witches and wizards around that you're going to give birth in 4 days. But the white woman tells you, I'm gone, I'm just 4 days to go. So you celebrate with her. Why don't they lose their babies? Mindset. Most of us are praying for wisdom. Nobody's in your village, they are too busy. They don't remember you. No villages abroad, right? No, they are villages abroad, they are villages. But they are too busy. They're not coming to town. So these are the things to want to avoid doing if you want to change your mindset. I'm going to be very brief about it. But guess what? These things can be done in all a day. But if you get to Nuggets for a Successful Life with Coach Aneka and Team LTS every Sunday, just drop your numbers as you've done. Indicate that, look, I want to be on that program. Somebody invite you. If you get there, you will hear more about these things. One of the things you have to do is to avoid overloads. A lot of us are overloaded. Guess what? We are on YouTube. Scrolling. You know why? See, I'm not watching anything bad though. I'm learning about something. And we're listening to messages, and then motivational speaking. I'm not saying it's bad. At the point, you must stop. Some of us are overloaded by the streets. We're overloaded by what we see at work. We're overloaded at work, at play. We're overloaded in our families. We're always trying to get involved with everything. Your overload makes you break down. You actually don't get to learn anything. You must avoid overload. Also, avoid learning without taking notes. If you're standing here, sitting here, you're not taking any notes, and say, hey, I enjoyed it very well. After tomorrow, I say, what did you learn? Say, actually, you said something about overload. Take notes. Why do I take notes? If you hear 100 things, even if it's just 10 you take, I'll tell you why. An average person hears the 100 things and does none. If you do one, you're better off. But if you don't write any, you ain't doing none. Take notes. Also, stop learning without taking any action. I used to do it. I write every time. But I got back one time and I said, for over 1 year, I've learned so much. What have I done about them? So I told myself I'll do one. I found out if I do only one thing, out of all my skills, I'll use one, my life will change. I met a man at the summit, not that much older than me, and he was talking about how much he was being paid for speaking. I'm like, whoa, what am I doing here? I speak better English than this man. Come on. So take action. If you are living without reflections, you are wasting a gem. You are wasting the time if you are living without reflections. Coach Aneka's quote, sit down. You look lovely, but sit down. Always reflect, all right? Reflect on your life every day. Reflect every week. And that helps you with your goal setting. It helps you to measure your goals. It helps you to do a lot of things. Stop doing self-comparison. Compare yourself to your brother, to your sister, to your friend. You're wasting your time. The stories are always different. The lanes they run are different. The bends they go through are different. In fact, the price they've paid, some of them you can't pay the price. So because negative thinking, a lot of us negative thinking. And I used to do it. Anything small happens, they'll call me from work. My boys will call me. Hey, Oga, I'm only like came to start. I say, yeah, they will kill us right now. One day I found out I didn't have to say that. My mind changed. So when they call me and say, sir, something happened, I say, what? Say something tilted. Is it falling? They say, no. Can we push it back? They say, push it back. I found that suddenly my stress level dropped because I changed my mindset. I now think positively. Why should I be thinking that on the way I should be robbed? Why did I think on the way I'll find somebody that will give me 100 million? Why should I have the same energy to think of negative, the same energy you use to think of positive? Do you know? When you think about going to die, that's the same energy you use about thinking of yourself like a movie, and you jump over the thing and now and he's a hero, he's a yes. Why don't you think like that? Why are you thinking about dying? Think about it. That's the same energy. And guess what will happen to you? Instantly, your energy, your negative energy changes. Instantly. Just imagination, lie down on your bed and think of positive things. I'm serious. If you are in debt, think of when you are rich on your bed. Instantly, your stress level drops without you achieving it yet. So stop behaving like an imposter. We had an imposter syndrome season on our platform for a whole month. Imposters are those like, let's assume my guy here, you know how he was, all these things were written out. And imagine he says to himself, I'm a nobody. How would you feel? And that's how most of us are. If I tell you now, he said, compared to him, I'm a nobody. Who are you? Who asked you to compare? You are somebody. What you have, I don't have. What you can do. I saw a lady on TV. Are English, eh? Deep Igbo accent. Presentation, I don't know how they got her on TV. Guess what? She's been on TV for years, over 14 or 15 years. People like her. Me with all my, sorry, when I come to the television station, I'm going to do, nobody call me for TV. Steps to creating productive mindset. One, evaluate. You have to take stock today and tomorrow and say, where have I gone through? Where have I gone to? Where have I been coming from? What have I become? What have I passed through? Write them down on paper. Ask yourself, where am I? Where am I? I've been on a job for 15 years. I don't have peace. What am I doing here? I've been into a relationship for 20 years. I'm always in pain. What am I doing here? I've chosen a profession I don't like. What am I doing here? Have I taken this risk before? No, but what am I going to do? Evaluate where you are. Today, tomorrow, do it. Also develop curiosity in a particular area. Don't be curious about everything around you anymore. Pick one area. Out of all your interests, take one. If you like selling, like brother says you like selling, sit down and say, I want to find out the secret of selling. Don't find out the truth of singing and dancing and no, just excelling. Focus on that. Major on that for a while. Evaluate and then develop curiosity in a particular area. What that does for you is give you what they call the tunnel view, a tunnel sight. You don't see any other thing. You see only one item. Tendency is this: whatever you do for long enough, no matter how bad it is, if you are kidnapping people, you become like what's the other guy? Evans. You make money. Oh. If you do it long enough, you become rich in it. Oh. You might lose it one day, but you still do it. You know what I'm saying? So if you do something positive, imagine what will happen. If you do it long enough, what happens? You must succeed at it. I'm not joking. It's not a matter of just prayer alone. It's by having a man teacher that it works. The God said it works. Activate your mind. How do you activate your mind? When I say activate your mind, I'm sure some people will think, how do I do that? Come and see me, pay me money, I'll activate it for you. Guess what? I'll activate you for me. You have to activate yourself for yourself. Activate your mind. Do some things that would make you pop up. When you do it, you will know. When I do it, when I get that zone anytime, my mind blows up. How do I explain it to you? I'm like in the galaxy. I begin to see all the stars suddenly. Everything becomes possible to me. Everything becomes so easy in my mind once I get myself there. Sit down, meditate. I'm not saying don't go and call demons to your life. Oh. Don't be doing chant. You get something else. Oh. Sit down and just focus that. What do I want to become? How can I become this? Is it possible? Answer that question in your mind long enough. Guess what? Your mind will blow up. You will get ideas for a solution right there. You will know when you get there. Your mind will blow up. Activate your mind. Tell yourself it's time for me to take action on that thing I just had my interest in. It's now time. I've learned enough. I want to take action. Activate it and then do your research. This is what I want to do now. I'm sure of it. Go and research. Google is there. People are there. Ask people questions and then get it done by your research. Stop and distill. When you do your research, stop and say, fine, I've got information. Let me distill them. Distilling them makes sure that, oh, I've broken them down to what I need and the steps I'm going to take. Get a coach to help you with that. If you can't do it alone, get somebody to assist you. Execute what you have done. Execute. There's no other way that you can do this to get it done unless you do it. If you don't do it, you have still not done it. All right? So at this juncture, I will ask you a question. Can I go now? I'm done. Can I go now? Guess what? Before I started this presentation, I said I was going to tell you two things. Do you know you have not asked me those two things? Why? You don't believe me. All right? You didn't believe it. You thought this kind of man dressed like this and Coach Aneka looks, okay, looks finer than Coach Aneka looks fresher than Mr. Okoko looks fresher than him. My wonderful mama. In case you don't know, I've given her a nickname too. Wedding mom of the year. You know, I've given her, she knows why. Nobody knows why. You know, I called him Gentle Giant right now. And you wonder, I don't know this brother. I can't have that amount of money on him and just dash it out. Even if he has it this way, he's looking. He won't give us. You didn't trust me, right? What if I tell you, I'm going to tell you what will make you earn this money? Will you believe me? You are doubtful. Why? Because your mind, nobody has ever offered you that before. Today, I'm going to offer you what you don't believe, but I'll still offer you. Either one you want, they have the same answer. Pick one thing, one skill, one know-how, one thing you know how to do best. Do it every day in this year and next. Then call me when you make this amount of money and give me 5%. Is that a deal? Whatever you know how to do well enough, you will make this amount of money. And I'm not joking. As I came out of my service with 10,000 naira, I started working with my HND after service. And I was saving every day. I practically don't go any other place. I don't spend more than what I earn. Guess what? After a year or two, I was having $1 million plus. I wasn't stealing. Do what you know how to do. Enjoy what you do. Do it long enough. Guess what? You will become whatever you want to. Of course, you need help on the way. If you want to move fast, walk alone. If you want to go to where you're going and get there easy, work with people. I'm one of the people that are willing to hold you by hands. Coach Aneka and Coach Neta and all the members of LTS. Somebody was thanking the two of us. The two of us, these wonderful ladies and men that helped us all the time. Find us out on our platform. We are always willing to give. And we have a host of people who support us all the time. Supporters, they're always there with us to offer back to you. It's not money. It's about us seeing you rejoice at your success. Try this and you will thank me. And remember to give me the 5%. I don't want to argue with God, so don't give me 10%. 5%. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful 2023.
Thank you very much, Coach BB. Thank you very much.